Vampiric Powers. How do they work? How do they melt steel beams? In this video today, we're going to go through the new Vampiric Powers that were added in with Season 2 of Diablo 4's Season of the Vampire. Now, if this is your first time on my channel, the way I do things here is by just simply upfronting the knowledge in my videos, so you can decide to stick around if you want. So with that being said, let me just quickly give you a very fast crash course on this. Essentially, you have 5 powers to choose from. You unlock them by spending potent blood. You get potent blood by doing any of these you see on the map. You just go to these areas, you kill monsters in them, you do the little events around here, and you'll get potent blood, which you then use back at this screen. To access this screen, you go into your inventory, you click Vampiric Powers, and you'll see all of your currently unlocked Vampiric Powers and all the ones you have active and what packs that they require. You have 3 different packs, Ferocity, Divinity, and Eternity. And when you socket the actual ones into here, you'll notice that it'll tell you, you can see this little denotation, available/required. 4 is available and 4 are required, so I'm good. Or for Divinity, I have 3 that are available, only 1 is required. So this gives me some leeway in my gear, which you can then see over here. Your gear has these little icons at the bottom that denote the packs that the gear has. So you can see that this chest piece has 3 packs granted, 2 of which are the skull, 1 of which are Divinity. So essentially what you'll be doing here is socketing your gear around to make this all work, and your gear can be adjusted using these Pact of Ferocity, Eternity, and Divinity stamps that you get while doing all of the things within those locations on the map like I was talking about. These guys over here. It's called like the blood tribute play. Blood harvest, there we go, yeah. You'll do it in the blood harvest and you'll get these packs in droves. But essentially, you'll use that potent blood to either unlock these vampiric powers. Some will only unlock via a quest. If you hover over at the very bottom here, it says acquired from Battle of Fear and Faith quest. Or you'll just kind of randomly generate them every time you press spend. It'll generate either upgrading one or unlocking another one. Just depends on what you've done. And this is a set. It'll roll 3 random ones and you just go ahead and do it, or you upgrade one. You can allocate the experience. So it's 1 experience that's allocated. It's 5 experience to upgrade this. I think it's 5, then 10, then 15. There's only 3 levels per vampiric power. But that's it. That is the down and dirty for this entire video. So too long, didn't watch. If that's all you wanted to know, then please feel free to just go ahead and shut the video down. But before you do, please don't forget to like, comment, and or subscribe. Each one of those things does help me out in an absolute huge way. I've got something like 89% unsubscribed viewer base on my channel right now, so I'm trying to change that metric here before the end of the year. And if you need help on any other subjects of Diablo 4, I've got a whole entire guide you can find linked in the description at the end of this video. Well, let's get started here on my guide to the new Vampiric Powers added in Season 2 of Diablo 4. So to open up, let's talk about our Vampiric Powers. We kind of just really quickly went over this, but just to kind of reinforce everything, I'm going to go ahead and remove everything from this list. And you can see it shows me Vampiric Powers active and inactive. And every single one of these powers is in the bottom. They have 3 corresponding colors. I have yet to see if there is a real true set kind of trait that follows them. I thought maybe like, okay, this color meant that this pact was the leading pact, but that's not the case here. Like Coven's Fangs, this is 2 Divinity. This is 1/1/1. This is 1/1. This is 1/1. Like there's no real like rhyme or reason as far as the activation cost. One of my viewers was saying that it has to do maybe with the actual effect that takes place. But for the most part, just ignore the colors. I would say it's not really that important. But basically what we would do is once you have a vampiric power unlocked, you just simply drag it up here and it activates if it has the activation cost fulfilled. So you see here, place into the sanguine circle, which is this bad boy. Casting skills heals you for 1.5% life. Double this bonus while below 50% life. Acquired from the Blood Money quest. And you can get these, more of these powers by just spending your potent blood. Remember we talked about potent blood is acquired from the blood harvest location on the map. Looks just like a Helltide. But when you start the game out, you should probably only have, I think it's actually just Undying, only 1 or 2 of these. And you just have to spend these potent blood. I've saved my potent blood just to make this video, but you could sit here and press this button and it will randomly, like I've said before, generate either an upgrade or unlocking a new one. So the new one is when your core skills overpower an enemy, you spawn 3 volatile blood drops. Collecting a volatile blood drop causes it to explode, dealing 60% physical damage around you. So if you're playing a blood build necromancer, this is the way to go. Every goddamn Blizzard game has blood boil in it somewhere. But the 3 that this generates, if you don't want them, it doesn't matter. You're going to, it will randomly choose one if you choose nothing. So if I click out of the screen, or like try to close the screen and switch to another one, it'll choose, I think it'll choose whatever one the cursor is just currently on. So if this says Blood Boil, yeah, see, Blood Boil has been unlocked. So you don't get a choice. It's going to randomly choose either 1, 2, or 3 upgrades or unlocking another one. It's whatever it is. But you can see here that it's only 25. This doesn't scale up. It doesn't get any more. And you're going to get potent blood in spades. It's so fast to get the potent blood now that you can just pretty much just sit here and click through this as fast as you want, unlock everything within the first 2 hours of playtime, and just be good to go. From there, it's about socketing these things up here. You just drag and drop them in. Now you'll see that there's a little corresponding blood that kind of flows into the center circle, and you can see I've got 3 of 2 active because 2 of these I don't have enough packed, and we're going to go on that in just a little bit here. But the vampiric powers can also be upgraded to have an increased effect. So you press this button again, and you don't know what you're going to upgrade. It's going to show me though that, hey, this one you actually have socketed into your thing right now. And it just so happens, this is something I want to invest in for my build. You deal 8% increased damage to vuln enemies. Enemies are vuln while affected by a vampire curse. So this is going to require 5 experience. So let's allocate some experience to it. So now this is 1 of 5. It has been upgraded in the sense that I've allocated experience, but it is not upgraded itself. You can see it's still current level is 1. Let's spin this again. All right, we got this one, Terror. Do I want this one? I mean, it's okay. Enemies who are... That's actually pretty cool. You're guaranteed to crit strike enemies who are feared. And who's this one? After not moving? Yeah, no. This one. And you kind of just have to hope that you get the ones you want. Just so happens I do want this one. What's this one? Nope. Allocate away. And there's no way I'm going to upgrade all this to level 2 in this video, but still I just trying to make a point here. Like, okay, now you can see we're going from 1 into a second experience point. You deal 30% increase over time that are affected by... Ooh, I do want that one. So you have to opt, okay, do I want to upgrade or do I want to put into unlocking another one? So there is a little bit of a mini game to this, and it will become a little bit of RNG. It doesn't seem like there is any kind of rhyme or reason to it, but it also does seem like anything you have socketed has an increased chance of appearing in the spend. So I'm going to press again, and it completely in defiance of what I've said, it did not appear. But you can see here though that it's just going to be a lot of the same stuff here. This is a pretty good one, Resilience, which is one I would upgrade anyway. I think it was here before I actually started the video. You press it again. So we've got another one that's on there now. So just to kind of show off, it's a pretty straightforward system. There's no kind of mystery to this, no mystique. You just simply are investing all this potent blood, which you're going to get tons of. And you get it from opening up whispered caches. There's tons of ways to get potent blood outside of those locations. And another quick note too, whenever you do those blood harvests, you're going to get Hunter's Acclaim, which will also unlock stuff like this, your other vampiric powers. So while you do unlock them either in quests or using potent blood, the other source of unlocking them, then there's only really 2 here, right, is Accursed Touch and Sanguine Brace is going to be done from this board here, the Hunter's Acclaim that you're going to find on all these towns. So turning on those vampiric powers is linked to the packs you have active on your gear. And every single item, or at least slot, has a number of packs that correspond to it. So the boots have 3 packs, the legs have 4 packs, the gloves and the chest both have 5 packs, and then the helmet again has 3 packs. And as you progress through the game, you're going to get more and more packs, different items, doesn't really matter, because you can edit all these, which we'll cover in the next section. But as you put them on, you can see these little icons that are then going to link back into our Vampiric Powers table to show off what we need. So I'm just going to pull off some of these that are active. I'm going to turn on stuff that is There we go. So we've got two that are active. Well, two that are active because I have enough Eternity, only one's required, and I've got enough of each for Terror, right? And you can see this really well. I think this is probably one of my favorite UI contextual tips, minus like the clone stamping behind it, but available and required, right? So 4 available Ferocity and 4 is required, versus Divinity we have 3 available but 7 are required. So it kind of allows for a mini game of taking set or item pieces and really trying to socket in the ones that make sense to turn on the Sanguine Circle, right? So okay, we still are 1 short, but we don't want to lose too much Ferocity here, and we still need a lot more of Eternity. So let's see if we can try to turn that on. We can edit items to make this a lot easier on us, but I'm trying to see if I can just do it with what we've got. This alone, you know, that'll turn on this, right? So that gives us our 7 required Divinity, and you can see now that Call Familiar has been turned on. So as you're going through, you're just going to have to kind of play with this until you get enough packs. And I wouldn't even bother editing any of these pact-wise until you're into getting sacred and or even ancestral items. I'm probably even ancestral. You're going to replace sacred so quickly that it doesn't really matter. You're not really going to need to do that much editing. But you can edit. What happens when you get like a GG item, a really good item, and you want to lock into it and stay with that item? Well, let's talk now about how you'd edit all these packs. So if you've actually done some gameplay of the season, you know that you're going to start getting these pacts of Ferocity, Eternity, and Divinity. So you basically add the pact if it has an opening, right? So for example here, this is 4/4, it's all fold up. So let's remove my chess piece and let's swap in, or just put these gloves, I've got nothing on them. And now we can see that we've got all this additional room to add packs in, right? So let's go ahead and do this. All right, we just put 1 pact on. We have got 4 more slots. We can do this, and we can just kind of add them on as we want. And this allows us to get very granular with the packs that we've got. And we can even, moreover, we can take this item off, or we can actually keep it on. I can use this Cleansing Acid, which again, you'll be getting this in droves as you play through any of the season content, and just remove all those packs. So there you go. All said and done, it's completely wiped clean. But what happens if you want to only remove or do certain things? Well, we go to the Alchemist here, and we go over to Craft Elixirs. Nope, we go to Refine Resources, and we go to Pact Alteration. So Cleansing Acid all is what you typically are going to get. But you can also make it so that it just removes Divinity from a piece of armor, or 2 packs at least. 2 packs of Divinity from a piece of armor. So this one, which has 4 Divinity on it, I could use this to remove 2 of that Divinity and put maybe 2 more Eternity or 2 more Ferocity packs on there. Same thing here with Cleansing Acid Eternity, Cleansing Acid Ferocity. It is pretty 1-to-1, right? And then also as well too, you can craft these. And it only costs you Potent Blood to craft these pacts, which is very fun. And the same thing here with the Cleansing Acid Divinity. It requires a Cleansing Acid all, and then Lifesbane, Biteberry, or Redamine, which you'll need for one of your portions of one of your missions in the season anyway. So go harvest it in the Dry Hills. But that's pretty much it on Vampiric Powers. They're very straightforward, they're very strong, and they can really kind of turn a build. They can push a build really hard in one direction and make it even stronger if you say like, hey, you know what? I'm stacking ton of overpower. Well, you know what? Let's get Blood Boil online and really make it so that our core skills overpower. When your core skills overpower an enemy, you spawn 3 volatile drops. You're like, if I'm playing that Blood Necromancer that's using Blood Nova, I think it's Blood Surge, I think it is. This is just going to go so well with it because your Blood Surge can auto overpower every 5 casts, or you use Blood of Rathma, and it does it after 20 stacks of Blood of Rathma. Every 40 seconds, your next skill is guaranteed to overpower. So this guarantees you more overpowerage just in the build innately. Blood Boil is a really good example of something that kind of just really leans you in a strong direction for overpower. Even looking at that other one, oh man, the one I was talking about earlier with the vulnerability. Who needs to find it? Not me. Ah, here we go. You deal 8% increased damage to vulnerable enemies. Enemies are vulnerable while affected by a vampiric curse. So this is another example, too, of something that you can find a lot of really fun stuff within these existent powers. So, okay, hey, enemies that are vulnerable while affected by a vampiric curse from your other vampiric powers. You've got ways. There's one that you can, it's called metamorphosis. There it is. So when you evade, you turn into a cloud of bats, becoming unstoppable for 2 seconds, and enemies along your path take 80% physical damage and are inflicted with a vampiric curse. So your evade just became weaponized because you are basically doing 80% physical damage to anything you evade through, and now because of this, you are making them vulnerable. So there's so many ways that you can take these vampiric powers and stack them into one another to do a lot of really cool things. You even get, there's a summon familiar one here. Casting a mastery, a weapon mastery, a macabre, wrath, or imbuement skill calls a bat familiar to attack nearby enemies, dealing 40% physical damage with a 30% chance to stun. And then you can increase this with other things like this. Lucky hit, bat familiar attacks, or your Conjuration Companion Minion and Bat Familiar have a 30% chance to inflict Vampiric Curse. Bat Familiars deal 20% increased damage to crowd-controlled enemies. So you can see that using these and layering these and having a lot of fun with the Vampiric Powers is one of the biggest draws of Season 2. So hopefully this makes a lot of sense now. You can kind of crack the code of the Vampiric Powers and have a lot of fun being a vampire, bro. You can be Blade here in Diablo 4. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching here today. If you have any questions, anything you need help with, or maybe you have some comments on some really strong vampiric powers that you've been using for your builds, let it be known in the comment section below. But as always, thank you so much for watching. Have a good one and take care.